All right, on today's episode of Crappy Editing, I wanted to share a little bit about how I work with my retics. And just kind of my approach. I get this question a lot, so yeah, incoming information. This is April O'Neill. Some of you know her. She's just under 9 feet. She's our little quirky girl. She has bit me before. She is choice-based though, so I want to show you how I get her out, like my preferred method of getting her out. She has gone potty in here, so I need to clean her anyway, so let me show you that process. All right, so the first thing I do is grab a step ladder, because she's in a higher enclosure, so she likes to climb down. So I'll put the step ladder in a specific area. So I'll put the step ladder here, right next to the door I'm going to open. And then I just open this door. And she will react to the door opening. See her? So when she does that, I just kind of let her think things through. April, other side, sweetie. Come on, babe. Come on. I do talk to them. I do think it helps with turning off any potential food drive. Hi, honey bun. The door's open. What you looking at? Come on. But yeah, and then she'll just come out eventually on her own. She decided to go up instead of down, which is fine. Generally just, come here, Tickly. Generally just her coming out in some fashion on her own does the trick to make sure that she is out of food mode. Come on, babe. But I was eating cookies while I was studying. The other thing that I'll do is literally, like, I'm just sitting on the floor in front of the ladder and just kind of hang out with them and let them do their thing. No, she's trying to go back in. All right, we're back. So the other thing that I'll do is literally just this and just sit on the floor with them and let them crawl around and explore and kind of go, for the most part, where they want, as long as they're not going somewhere that they will destroy something or get behind something they're not supposed to. Yeah, I just let them sniff and explore, and you just want to make sure none of you smells like something that they would want to eat. And yeah, she'll just sniff around. Let me show you. So April's a pretty curious girl. She likes to sniff and explore. And not everyone is up for this kind of interaction with their animal because it can be, you are taking a risk. But she's very relaxed right now and wanting the camera and just hanging out. Is up onto my shoulders. She likes climbing up onto me. So right now I'm not like making her stay on my lap. She just likes to chill here sometimes. There's also a chance she might be gravid, so she might just be liking the warmth since she's out of her enclosure. But yeah, she'll just kind of tool around and come check on me when I'm cleaning her enclosure and make sure I'm doing a good job. No, you wanted to say hello? Pretty girl. Look at you. Okay, so I do have a snake hook. I don't use it super often, but I'm gonna have it handy for Picasso. Now, Picasso is a breeder male who is not ours. He's here temporarily. You can see him right there. He has been on one the last little bit and is very food motivated. Look at him. He's gonna bite. Don't strike the glass, dude. Did you figure it out? Did you figure out no food is involved? He gets so, like, look at him. He's so food moody. He's been like this for 2 days and he got fed a week ago. So he's in a mood, and I'm going to make sure that I have a hook ready for him because he will absolutely bite. Where you at, bud? Are you gonna try and eat? No, don't come flying out. Here. You wanna eat this? Eat the hook. Eat the hook. I try and use the handle first. Come here, bud. He's really not that big. Usually, buddy, you were just on. He's usually pretty chill. Good job, bud. So he calmed down enough to pull some stuff out. So that's good. Now, something to keep in mind, I never blame an animal if they are, acting like an animal. I don't think it's, a negative thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. They're just doing snake things. Yes, I believe you can build a bond with these animals. Yes, I believe that they're smarter than a lot of people give them credit for. Does that mitigate all risks of ever getting bit by an animal, or an animal, you know, mistaking you for food now and then, or getting defensive? Absolutely not. Like, first and foremost, you need to respect the fact that they are what they are and respond accordingly. So this particular dude, he's not super keen on being handled. He doesn't really like to interact. He's our, like, most kind of like whatevs snake in terms of interacting with people. So we respect that and just kind of let him do his thing until it's time to pull him out to clean him. Snag you out. Come here. Come here. So he really is awkward about getting held. It's okay. So notice I did not use the hook to get him out. I used my hands, which is my preference. I have a little bit more control over where they're going with my hands. I'm gonna go park him on his little perch that he likes to hang out with while I clean his house. Come on, bud. So even in Picasso's case, who's not super keen on being handled, I still let him like hang out side of his enclosure for a little bit. Hi, buddy. And he'll just, this is one of the places he likes to just perch. So a little tip on working with an animal that could be in defensive mode. Generally, I don't recommend working with an animal if they are in food mode. Get them out of food mode first. But if they're a little sketchy, like, take note of where their head is and then work to kind of scoop them from behind where their head is. That generally encourages them to move away from you, like Picasso is here, as opposed to turning around and striking you. All right, one of the most challenging things when you have retics out, because retics are very interactive and very social. Hi, April. So I need to put April back so I can work with Aries. Aries needs to be cleaned. So let's give that a go. She's always wanting to head somewhere, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get her to go in by herself. You go in? It's always easier if they can just do it themselves. Now, she usually will turn around and try and come right back out before she gets her butt all the way in there, but we'll see. She might cooperate. She is underneath my arm right now. You can go? There we go. She's a good girl. All right, now the next animal I'm going to show you is Aries. Aries is a very social dude. He's also very chill. So a lot of what I do with Aries, I don't necessarily recommend as your go-to approach to, especially every single animal. That just not every single animal is going to respond or do well with this approach. But let me show you what I do with a very friendly, very chill reticulated python. All right, so he is in his, we're referring to this as his hotel room. Jody has fondly nicknamed it. This is not his normal enclosure because his other enclosure, one of the glass doors broke. So he's in a much smaller space than he's used to. He's not a super big fan of it. He likes to be at his glass, but he's one of our like no response, just wants to come out and say hello. Even if it's like the day after, did you just sneeze on everybody? Buddy, the day after a meal, he will usually come out very chill. Yeah, I don't think he's ever come out hot, actually. So he's a very kind of, I don't want to say one-off because there are other retics that are like this, but yeah, I still am very aware that if he were to bite, it would not be on him, it would be on me. But he's a good boy. All right, now the way that I developed this like relationship, for lack of a better word, with this animal is he just, was kind of like this when we brought him home. He's always done free roaming. He's always done like his railing slide, but it's literally just letting him do his thing and watching it and responding to it, just like all the other animals, right? Hi, where are you? There you are. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. This is just, I'm not doing anything. This is just him going where he wants to go. Husband came down to say hello. Do you have any tips or tricks for how you approach an animal and work with them, specifically a snake?
I think the thing that is the most valuable is paying attention to that snake's behavior on an ongoing basis so that you can start to recognize when they're behaving differently.
So kind of spot on what I was talking about as far as responding to a behavior, and then just spending time with the animal and observing them, even just inside the enclosure, will give you a much better idea of what that behavior actually means and the best approach to responding to it.
This is not normal. You gotta have that baseline.
Why are you crawling on the phone? All right, so let's talk about working with a 12-foot girl. Hi, honey bun. So this is Stella. She is a very chill retic. She hasn't been super interactive because, you know, she just got off her eggs and she is putting weight back on, which is good. That's what we want. So she's been pretty much in lounge mode, but she is still curious. Hi, honey. Do you want to come out? Do you want to say hello? She will sometimes come out by herself when she's back up to weight and feeling, you know, like her old self again. She will, I'm sure, be back to wanting to hang out. She will, you know, beg at her glass. I do always have a hook handy when I am working with her because she is, you know, 12 feet, and 12 feet of python is a lot of python, especially if you're working with them by yourself. I don't really... So I do work with her by myself. I am comfortable because of her kind of temperament working with her by myself. There are snakes that are smaller than Stella that I would ask for help to work with in the past, and, you know, snakes that are bigger that you will feel comfortable working with by yourself. So general best practice is, if it's over 10 feet, always have a second person around. I generally don't have her out and about unless there's another person in the house, but she is very manageable just by myself. Now, that being said, like I said earlier, I do always have a hook handy. Usually she's pretty good. She has been fairly food motivated, which is good. So I will often just kind of, hi sweetie, do you see this? I hate like startling them. So I'm actually really gentle when I give them head taps. Hi, honey bun. But she's a good girl. Hi, do you want to come out? Hi, I know I touched her. And she's like, what? Who is that? Come on, sweetie pie. Do you want to come out? Hi, do you want to come out? You see the camera, huh? Hi, do you want to say hello to the people with your cute little puppy dog Snoop? You don't have to come out if you don't want to. I don't want to disturb her too much because she is very cozy. She's just lounging. Yeah. You're going to get a meal tomorrow, babe. We had to have face. Huh, honey bun. She's very cute. She's very capable of doing damage if she wanted to, so I'm very mindful when I work with her. She's a doll, though. She's a very good girl. Just, you know, never forget that they are, you know, big, strong, capable animals, as they should be, and being very respectful of that fact is key to working with them well and working with them responsibly. Once in a while she will crawl up on my knee, so I have my leg here, and she's often curious about it. Sometimes she'll climb up it, but again, just kind of letting them sniff. Yeah, do I smell like other snakes? She's like, nah, I'm good. Good job. You're such a sweetie pie. All right, so Centauri is another choice-based animal. She's a little bit smaller than the other ones that I've shown you so far. She does sometimes come out hot. She's usually pretty good though. Hi, babe. And come out. So she will come out on her own. Come here, sweetie. She'll generally crawl out and go climb on the plants. It's her favorite spot. But that's my go-to, getting kind of letting her know that I'm there and not food. She's very chill as well. Tap training is always an option, obviously, and a good way to go with retics because they do come out hot most of the time. Not most of the time. What am I saying? They are known for coming out hot. This is just kind of my preferred approach. It works well for me. But let me show you what I do when I am working with a non-choice-based reticulated python. So this middle enclosure here is Chahaya's enclosure. She is probably most timid retic. She's not like the other ones that I've shown you so far. She rarely comes up to her glass, and when she does, she generally just kind of doesn't want to come out when I open up the enclosure. So this is kind of my approach to get her out. I still get her out, I still work with her, I still interact with her. So yeah, let me show you how you do that. So she is on paper. We recently switched her over because she started rooting. She has been hiding back in this corner. She needs to be cleaned. Oh, you made a big mess, sweet pie. The other corner. So she does have some potted plants in there still. I think she has some rogue isopods in here still too, which is okay. There's some soil for them to get to. Oh, no, she's underneath the paper. So a little trick, if you can't find your reticulated python, they're probably underneath the paper, and that's what she's done. So I'm gonna take out the majority of her stuff because it needs to be taken out anyway. Dump out her water. And then she is under there. Hi, sweetie. There's some residual dirt. Hi, babe. Hi, what you doing? So something I do is I will just grab something if they're slightly in food mode, and she does tend to be pretty food mode-y. You want to see that that's not food. Not food. See? What are you doing with your face? So you'll see her move back like that. That's generally the sign that they know that you are not food. Usually, are you being honest today? Hi, do you want to come out? Can I use that as a lure? Come here. Are you going to try and chomp me? Come here. So I do the same thing. I just reach behind and snag her out. And there's a Chahaya. Come here. And here she is. I needed both hands to snag her out, so I had to set my phone down. But yeah, she's pretty chill. She's not a super, like, once in a while she'll, you know, strike because she thinks food is involved. But as soon as she knows, I just go in there and grab her. Now, I've had this animal since she was teeny tiny, so I feel like it's easier to grow up with animals like retics, and it just provides a little bit more comfort, knowledge. You just kind of, you grow up with each other, so you kind of know better what the behaviors are like communicating to you. I can remember communicate, and you can just respond to them a little bit more comfortably. And the other thing that I've noticed with my animals is, like, when they do strike, because it's not a matter of if it's a matter of when you're keeping snakes, I don't get like scared of them or like don't want to interact with them anymore. I just work them through it and work myself through it. And I find that's way easier doing it with my own animal that grew up with me, if that makes sense, versus, you know, an animal that I brought in that's an adult and has a more difficult temperament to work through. Tim over at Intrepid Exotics is a great example of essentially rehabbing an animal that is incredibly defensive, and he works with big snakes. So he's rehabbed some really big reticulated pythons in a really amazing way. So if you want tips and tricks on that, he is your go-to guy. I will just sit with them and hang out and let them kind of explore and sniff me without me reacting to them or responding to them in any way. I just kind of like let them do their thing. So that seems to help kind of build their confidence and realize that if they do interact with me, like, nothing is going to happen. So that's been the most effective approach to animals like Chahaya. Where are you going? It can be challenging because they are adorable when they are exploring, but yeah, just kind of taking advantage of their natural behaviors. So she likes to climb up. She likes to lem in my ear. Thank you for that. So she's looking for the top of my head right now. So if that's where she wants to go, I'm gonna let her go there. There is an Aries behind us doing Aries things. But yeah, you can kind of see them relax and get a little bit more explory. Sometimes it takes some time. For some animals, it'll take them a good, 30, 45 minutes of being out before they finally relax and start exploring. So that's the other thing I do a little bit differently. I do keep some of my animals, like Cogs, my scrub python, I will keep him out for a good amount of time. And it's usually it takes him a little bit longer, maybe, 15, 20 minutes at this point, to kind of drop into relaxed explore mode. Yeah, like, subscribe. That always helps us out. Jai's trying to move my chair. And is always very, very appreciated. Thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one.